Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's your man Wise, back at it again with another reaction video. All right, hey, I'm back on Doug in Exile. I wanted to check this video out, man. I hope you guys enjoy this and are enjoying the content. If you have not already subscribed to Doug in Exile's channel, please jump over there and subscribe to his channel, man. He puts out phenomenal content on a day-to-day basis, man. Give me 1 second. Let me slide the video in. If you haven't already as well, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Drop me a comment down below. I love hearing from you guys. Without further ado, let's go.
All of these Jean Carroll videos, when we go into this Trump case in New York, it's going to go on for a while. I'm going to be talking about it. And the word RAPE comes up a lot. I'm just going to call it. Do women falsely accuse men of that crime? Yes. Especially when money's involved. Do men commit that crime? Yes. And so I don't want to be a participant on either side of this thing. I'm only going to give my observations. That's my bias. Welcome to Doug in Exile. Here's the weird thing on Tucker Carlson.
Anti-civilization activist Reid Hoffman, for example, is a major Haley supporter. Reid Hoffman is the founder of LinkedIn. He's a friend of Jeffrey Epstein's. He was a visitor to Bow Island, in fact. He's also the guy who funded Jean Carroll's sexual assault case against Donald Trump.
Okay, so that was weird because I'd heard a rumor all last week that her whole lawsuit was funded by someone else. It was funded. And that's my first suspicion of it.
Wow. That's news to me. Oh, man. Goodness gracious, man. These people, they are coming out of the woodworks to take this man down.
It is strange to me that she's a victim and she never went to the police. She got into this lawsuit after it was funded by a big Democrat donor.
Hoffman's money has also helped to prop up the authoritarian governor of California, Gavin Newsom, as well as many others on approximately the same team. This cycle, Reid Hoffman is all in on Nikki Haley.
Even when he's going to fund an alleged Republican like Nikki Haley, he's funding the one candidate that the far left is trying to use to take out Trump. And that's Nikki Haley. Wow. And if not Nikki Haley, then Gavin Newsom. See, when you start seeing him fund all of Trump's enemies, it shows a personal vendetta against Trump.
Absolutely. He obviously has a vendetta, a grudge against Donald Trump. You can see it. Wow. I'm learning something. I am learning something today. Thank you, Doug.
So this Jean Carroll I'm proposing is just another political hit against Trump. It's possible. Here's the headlines at New York Times. Jury selected in second Trump defamation trial brought by Jean Carroll. And then here's Jean Carroll to testify in second defamation trial against Trump. So that's today. They've got the jury now. Jean Carroll's second defamation trial against Donald Trump continues Wednesday morning in Manhattan federal court with the start of witness testimony. So they're going to put her on the stand. This week's proceedings mark Carroll's second defamation trial against Trump. In May, a jury found the former U.S. president liable of sexual abuse and defamation, awarding Carroll $5 million in damages. Trump attended jury selection in the trial. He left the courthouse around 2 p.m. for a campaign event in New Hampshire and was not present for the opening statement. So he's half in the trial watching them select the jury, which in New York is going to mostly be a bunch of Democrats that hate Trump's guts. Carroll said that Trump hurt her 3 decades ago in the changing room of an upscale Manhattan department store. She came forward with her account in 2019 with an excerpt from her book, What Do We Need Men For? A Modest Proposal. Okay, this is my first thing I smell a rat. She releases the information on a book tour. Yep. That is the first time anyone...
Without fail, trying to sell a book. Without fail, trying to sell a book. She is willing to... I mean, these people are... Wow. These people are evil. These people are evil. And I am so thankful that regular American people, regular citizens are seeing through all of the foolishness from Reed, from this lady, and a host of other folks, you know, that are either in the party or liberal or Democratic donors. Man, these people, man, they do not mean us any good. None whatsoever.
Years of this story that Trump attacked her was when she was selling a book. Could you have told any of your friends or bragged about it or been upset about it or cried about it? And by the way, you'll see later, she is a sexual weirdo. On Anderson Cooper, I've got a clip of her. Okay, so she's selling a book. There's other details that are kind of weird about this thing. Trump, who was in the White House when Carroll's claim surfaced, quickly attacked, saying, I've never met this person in my life. She is trying to sell a new book, which she is trying to sell a new book, that should indicate her motivation. It should be sold in the fiction section, he said. Carroll sued him in 2019, maintaining that Trump's denials smeared her reputation, sparking online abuse and serious threats. Here,
I want to know why, if this happened 30 years ago, I understand Trump's a rich guy, and, you know, would be assumed to be powerful at that time. But if someone did something like that to you, I don't understand it. Why not go to the police? I don't get it. It makes absolutely no sense to me. There's been so many cases from situations that allegedly happened 30, 40 years ago. And guys are losing cases, you know, in some cases, Cosby going to prison for a while. In other cases, you know, people just losing, you know, their livelihood and having their reputations ruined. It's ridiculous. I don't get it. I don't understand how they're even allowing this to be.
Carroll was not able to sue Trump for sexual assault as the incident fell outside of the civil statute of limitations. Okay. So Trump, and it happened 30 years ago, so they can't bring it up under New York law. And then look what the Democrats do in New York. But in 2022, New York State's Adult Survivors Act gave adult victims of sexual misconduct a 1-year window to sue their abusers for incidents outside the statute of limitations.
How convenient. How freaking convenient. Come on now.
That was a handmade law they changed to go after Trump. Democrats in New York changed the law in 2022 for a 1-year time that someone in New York could go and then the law would go back to what it was. I smell a rat.
Absolutely.
So here's Kaplan, the judge, instructing the jury and everyone on what they're allowed to think about Trump. Quote, facts that were definitively decided in the previous trial include the following. First, Miss Trump, in fact, sexually abused Miss Carroll by forcibly and without her consent, inserting his fingers into her hoo-hoo. Now, he says Trump, in fact, did that. They did not prove that he, in fact, did that. That's a big no-no to me. You did not prove that. Okay. There's no video. It's he said, she said. She's the only witness who said it, which is often the case in a rape, given it's an intimate, thing. It's not done in public. Okay. So these are always he said, she said. Second, Miss Trump's June 21st and June 22nd statements were false. Again, they can't know that. And this judge is demanding you believe that. And Miss Carroll did not make up her claim of forcible sexual abuse, Kaplan said. Now, Kaplan's saying those are facts. I don't know that those are facts. Kaplan is demanding the jury act in his courtroom. He has the right to do it as a judge, Democrat judge. Quote, and because you must accept them as true. That is psycho. I'm quoting him. This is the judge telling people exactly how they must think. Doesn't this make your skin crawl? This is weird to me. And because you must accept them as true, Kaplan later said, quote, "This trial is not a do-over of the previous trial, which determined those facts. What remains for you to decide are only two very limited issues relating to damages for Mr. Trump's publication of those two statements." So Trump published that she was not his type, and he said she was a liar and a fraud. Okay. And that's what that apparently that costs you more than $5 million now to say again.
To come out and say someone is not your type and that someone is lying on you is worthy of a lawsuit that would yield a $5 million payout. If you guys can't see the corruption, if you guys can't see the foolery happening in the state of New York, come on, man, this is ridiculous. What folks really need to understand, even people that are on the left that think that this type of behavior is okay for a judge to do what he did, for a prosecutor to, go forward and prosecute the case. Well, I guess it's not a prosecution. I guess this is a situation. This is a civil lawsuit. So, strike that last statement from the record. But if they can do this to him, what do you think they will do to you? That's what I don't think folks are understanding. I was having a conversation, with my sister, and I was like, yo, if they are willing to do this to him, what do you think they will do to you that don't have the type of money, that don't have the type of cachet, that don't have the name, that don't have access to, high-powered lawyers and things of that nature to defend him? What do you think they will do to you, to regular citizens out here? This is outrageous.
And someone in New York. And then here's Sean Crowley, one of E. Jean Carroll's attorneys, said in her opening that jurors needed to impose damages that would stop Trump from continuing to smear her client. That's one way of saying it. Another way of saying is, give me as much of Trump's money as possible. Those are two opposing claims. And again, I don't know the difference, right? Because E. Jean Carroll might actually be being damaged by Trump, where they go like, look, you got to find this guy so he stopped saying these things. The other side of it is Trump is innocent and just defending himself in public, and he's not going to stop saying them no matter how much money it costs, because he's actually innocent of the charge. I don't know which it is. Quote, he is continuing to tell those lies to this very day, earlier this month, last week, even today. You will hear that as Trump faces trial over how much money it will take to get him to stop defaming Miss Carroll, he keeps doing it. He sat in the courthouse. You saw him, Crowley said. And by the way, this lawyer makes a bigger cut if they can get the jury
of course,
to get Trump for more money.
Of course. Her stake is on a percentage. She gets a percentage of whatever, the jury says that, or whatever the jury awards her. She gets a cut. So if it's 50 million, I would assume it's probably somewhere in the realm of 10 to 15, maybe even 20% of that is going to go to this lawyer. So it's in her interest, or their interest for that matter. I'm not sure if it's a man or a woman that's representing this lady, but it's in her interest to run it up as much as she can.
So, I can't tell whose motive is pure here. Quote, and while he was sitting there, he posted more defamatory statements, more lies about Miss E. Jean Carroll and this case. By our count, by our last count, 22 posts just today, she said. Think about that. Think about that when you consider how much money it will take to get him to stop. Look at that's a lawyer. Scumbag leech.
Seriously.
All my
lowest of the low. Lowest of the low. Goodness.
Friends in the legal profession, oftentimes the lawyers tell me more than anyone else not to trust a lawyer. Okay. Asking for money. Quote, at the end of this trial, it will be your job to decide how much money Donald Trump should pay for what he's done to Miss Carroll, and how much money he should pay it will take to get him to stop defaming her so that Miss Carroll can maybe finally live her life in peace, Crowley said. They're acting like she's some kind of a
Victim.
shrinking violet. Wait till you
Seriously.
see an interview with Miss Carroll. We submit that the number should be significant, very significant. Donald Trump, after all, is a self-proclaimed billionaire. Trump's lead attorney in the case, Alina Habba, contended that Carroll was responsible for the backlash against her. And now this is the other side. The evidence will show that Miss Carroll has made Trump the focal point of her new identity now. We will show that she frequently promoted and publicized every development with her first lawsuit against him herself.
Oh, of course.
Habba claimed she doesn't want to fix her reputation, ladies and gentlemen. She likes her new brand. I agree with that. I saw her, the way she acts in public. Let's move on here. Here's Brianna Price on Twitter. The fact that E. Jean Carroll went on TV and said rape is sexy, quote, and I'll get to that quote on video. And she can't even remember the year Trump irked her should automatically tell you what she wants is money. She usually victims would have evidence and provide proof. I don't know how true that is, but I do know that in the last court case, she could not name the date that she was raped because then
You would think that something that traumatic that happens to you, you would remember at least the month. At least the month. I mean, it's 30 years ago. Okay, I can understand you saying, hey, I don't remember, exactly which day it was. But you should be able to give us the year, and you should be able to give us the month, at least. Come on, man. This is ridiculous.
they probably could have looked at security cameras and seen if Donald Trump was actually in there. She could. So she goes, oh, I only know it was 30 years ago. I don't know what year, don't know what month, don't know what day.
How convenient. So you don't know what year, day, or year, month, or day that this happened, but you are 100% sure that this happened. Wow.
Okay. A traumatic injury? Maybe. We're going to keep going because here she is on Anderson Cooper.
You don't feel like a victim.
I was not thrown on the ground and ravished. Which the word rape carries so many sexual connotations. This was not sexual. It hurt.
But I think most people think of rape as it is a violent assault. It is not.
I think most people think of rape as being sexy.
Who thinks that?
Okay. These are people that traipse in circles where I don't talk that way.
Seriously.
These are weirdos. But this is the creepiest thing you'll ever see. Watch this. This is like Hungry Like the Wolf on Anderson Cooper. And he's just like fumbling over himself over her last comment.
Let's take a short break.
Think of the fantasies.
We're going to take a quick break. If you can stick around, we'll talk more on the other side.
You're fascinating to talk to.
Holy smokes. Okay. In case the Democrats are using this to influence your vote, they're trying to get you to not be able to stomach voting for someone who grabbed Miss Jean Carroll in a dressing room. I'm just going to go to Tara Reid, who was an assistant of Joe Biden, who accused him of doing the exact same thing. In March 25th, 2020, interview with Katie Helper, Tara Reid alleged that Biden pushed her against a wall, kissed her, put his hand under her skirt, penetrated her with his fingers, and asked, "Do you want to go somewhere else?" Reid told the national NPR in its April article, and it goes on. But that's creepy, creepy Joe Biden. And you'll go, they're both adult victims, both E. Jean Carroll and Tara Reid. Well, here's an excerpt from when James O'Keefe found Biden's daughter's diary. Okay, here's Biden's daughter's diary, who left it in a hotel room. Remember, this is where the FBI broke into James O'Keefe's house and took this back because now they're Biden's, retrieval team,
Wow.
which they would never have done with Trump.
Wait.
They've exposed this.
I heard about the diary. I did not know that the FBI broke in this man's house and took it back. Holy smokes, man. No big deal was made about that. Wow.
Everywhere. Here's a page of the journal where she says in that top circle, was I molested? She said of her father. Here's down below. She remembers being overly sexualized and at a young age, showers with my dad, probably not appropriate. Just in case they're trying to use this to weaponize against Trump, I just want you to say that both candidates and Clinton proved it all. Clinton showed and even admitted guilt in certain areas. Clinton showed that the feminists do not care about these issues. Okay, they covered for Clinton. They attacked his accusers. These are Democrats. Democrats do not care about the claims of E. Jean Carroll. They're using this. They're pretending to care to try and win against Trump. And I'm only saying, oh, really? If you want to take a look at who did what, take a look at what Biden did. I'm Doug in exile.
Wow. Powerful. Goodness gracious. Wow. These people, they really should be ashamed of themselves, man. They will do anything. They will do anything. I don't think there's a bar too low that they won't crawl under to get this man. They are literally pulling out all the stops. They're attacking this man on every front. Every front they're attacking this man. Protect Donald Trump at all costs, man. Protect him at all costs. What people need to realize is that if they're willing to do this to him, what will they do to you? You say, wait, Wise, I'm not running for president. I'm not somebody that doesn't matter. Once precedence is set, it can be used on every citizen in the country. And you don't have $1 billion. I don't have $1 billion. Heck, I don't have $1 million to fight, some ongoing battle from some situation from 30, 40, 50 years ago. I don't have that. And the average person out there don't have that. Sick, man. These people are sick and they should be ashamed of themselves. They really should. Wow. Sad. I'm gonna get out of here, man. Appreciate all the love, man. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Drop me a comment down below, man. I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys, man. And I'll catch up with you all next time. We out. Peace.